So Brendan, we have a true legend of the East End.
We have MBE, is it?
MBE.
now.
Maureen
Yes.
Flanagan, MBE.
Yes.
So Maureen, did you go to like Buckingham Palace to get the MBE, or do they send it to you? What
Oh
happened?
no, I went to Buckingham Palace all dressed up like a film star.
Really?
And I took my 2 granddaughters with me.
So what do they do? Tap you on the shoulder or
No, that's knighthood.
Yes, okay.
I'm not a man. That's when they knight you, like David Beckham thinks he's going to get.
They pin it on you.
They pin it on.
And who was your pin of honour?
Well, when I got there, unfortunately, Brendan, I desperately wanted the King, or at least Prince William.
Yeah.
Because I've just been asked to take on Hackney's Homeless and sit on the board of that. So William's gone into that at the moment, so I wanted to talk to him about it. So we get there at 2 o'clock, which is our time, and a lovely lady talks like the Queen, says, "Oh, hello, Maureen. Yes, congratulations. You've got the Princess Royal." Well, she must have seen my face drop. She went, "Oh, don't be disappointed." And my 2 granddaughters said, "Oh, Nanny, Princess Anne is a wonderful woman. She's the hardest working of the royals."
Yeah.
So, but you know, I'm a man's girl. I wanted it to be the King or Prince William.
Did you have a chat with her then?
Yeah, and she was marvellous. She knew before I did my curtsy and said, "Good afternoon, Your Royal Highness," and before they pinned that on, she said, "Oh, I've heard about you." They must tell them before they come on. She said, "What's all these charities you do?" I said, "Well, I'm doing 4 at the moment, and I've just been asked to take on number 5, Hackney's Housing, homeless." She went, "Let me tell you something," and she came very near, took my hand. She said, "Sometimes we have to learn to say no." You've never learned that, Brendan. You've never learned that
Not
yet.
down for not, to be honest.
We've got,
Brendan, I mean,
we've
she
got
knows
to say
everything,
no.
but
So
he-
I said,
Yes, oh, sorry.
"I'm sorry, ma'am," you say after that. "I'm sorry, ma'am, I can't say no." I said, "There's a man sleeping every night underneath Hackney Road Bridge." She said, "Hackney, is that where you live?" I said, "That's where I live." And I feed him every day.
Well, there you go.
I give him soup, coffee, a bit of fruit, whatever.
But you're here today for Ronnie's
I'm here today for
paperback,
Ronnie Field.
launch, because he did do a launch about a year ago.
He
didn't
did.
Yeah, tell us a bit about Ronnie Field.
Well, Ronnie Fields, I find a very unusual man. Let's say an unusual gangster. There are gangsters and gangsters.
Yes.
I find him very private.
Yes.
And I've known the top gangsters, haven't I, Brendan?
You certainly have.
You know, one you say is over the top, one tells lies, one tells the truth, one's vicious, one's a murderer, one's whatever. But I find Ronnie Fields a very classy little man.
Yes.
And I always knew him from my first husband, the Flanagan husband, and they're from the Nashes, the Nash family, and also from Ronnie and Reggie,
Yes, of
that I knew
course.
him from, most of all Charlie Kray, who was a very good friend of his, which unfortunately didn't end well in that they all went away, the 3 of them, with Bobby. So I find him a different guy, but I find him very honest and very loyal.
Yes.
And Charlie Kray told me he was exactly that. I loved the book. It's hilarious. There's a few robberies in there that I know people have read and enjoyed, and we've learnt little things from them. We're not going out robbing tomorrow, Brendan. I was going to ask the Coots Bank. If I'm going to do it, let's do the Queen's.
Do the Queen.
There's still time. There's still time. So,
So-
Brendan, what do you want to ask the lovely Flanagan?
Well, just how is life treating you, Flan? Are you happy? Are you?
I am. No.
You're looking well.
I've had a tragedy. My daughter-in-law died in February the 5th. Aggressive breast cancer. Left 3 children, 14, 10 and 8. They're with their auntie and uncle, but me and my son have them every fortnight. So as you know me, Brendan, I'll be
you
round,
definitely can't
I'll be
say
round
no,
collecting. Give me till next month in June when I have my event in the Beggars, and we get a few quid. going.
So, final little thing, as we're here with Brendan, who was Dave's best mate, have you got a little story about Dave that you could tell Brendan and what you thought of him?
Well, what was your funniest moment with Dave, would you say?
The funniest moment is when I had a boyfriend called Christopher Bartholomew, who was quite friendly with Courtney. I don't know if Dave really liked him, but there they go. And we had a row, and we had 2 tickets to go to the Palladium and sit in the royal box, right? So I told Dave, and he went, "We're going." I said, "You can't come." I said, "I've got to go with this boyfriend, but I don't like him anymore, I don't want him anymore." He said, "Flan, we're going." And he turned up at my door with a gold suit. And the funny part about it was, I was wearing a gold sequin dress. Didn't know what Dave Courtney was going to wear. So can you imagine, he was in a Range Rover with a couple of fellas. They dropped us outside the Palladium. Everyone's looking at us. There's photographers there. God only knows who they thought we were. But we were showing up to the royal box, and Adrian Doughty was the compere.
Really?
So he's said, the lighting man, hello, can you put it on the royal box? Well, everybody's crammed around thinking, who is it? And they said, well, we got the king and queen of the underworld. Well, everybody started clapping. And Dave, he's going and waving. I said,
Did you do a wave as well?
Yes, of course. I said, keep it up, Dave, keep it up. And there we are, sparkling in gold, in the royal box.
It's not like Dave to milk it.
No. And he absolutely loved it. You know, it was Joe Longthorne.
Yes, brilliant.
So I'm telling Dave, whispering Dave to the songs he's going to sing and where I know them from. We had the most wonderful night, absolutely. But I don't know who they thought we were, because King and Queen of the Underworld. What titles?
Lovely. Thank you so much.
Okay. And by the way, I love Ronnie Fields.
Yes, fantastic.
As we all do.
Tell us who we got here, Brendan.
So we've got Big Ben. We've just been out of Turkey, where I went. Look, he's got the same smile as me, look.
Why did they call you Big Ben?
I don't. Oh, Big Ben. I'll come along on tour, I suppose. I don't fucking know, you know what I mean?
But he's a long-term friend of Ronnie's and all the chaps. In fact, he is one of the chaps for years.
One of the chaps, one of the proper
he's
people.
been everywhere. Everywhere I've gone, I've always seen him.
Yes, he's certainly the business, isn't he?
He's certainly the
Thanks,
business, Big Ben.
Tell us about Ronnie.
We've done this before, haven't we?
Yeah, we have, but it's a new one, it's a paperback.
Tell us about Ronnie now.
Well, Ronnie Field is a fucking legend, mate.
Yeah.
Absolute legend.
Yes.
When he worked with Joe, I mean, I've done a little bit of work with him, as you know. With Mickey Cornish and that. And just a lovely, lovely man. Very dangerous man. Don't you worry about that. You know what I mean?
Has he mellowed in time?
I think so, yes, now a little bit, yeah. Still sharp.
Have you mellowed, Ben?
I've fucking mellowed right down. But see how smart he is. Still a smart man, isn't he? The smartest man ever met in life.
Very, very smart. All that generation weren't after.
Well, look at Joe. Fucking, he was always smart, wasn't he? Fred.
What was Joe like as a man?
Joe Bolt?
Yeah.
The governor.
He was the governor.
The governor, mate.
Yeah.
Absolute governor.
Is he much missed, of course?
Miss. Legend. When the legend dies,
Irreplaceable, Joe was.
there'll never be another J. Pop. He was the absolute governor.
He's been gone about 18 years.
Yeah, I was so privileged to know him. Really was. You know what I mean, Brent?
And the funeral was like one of the biggest.
Oh, it's
in South
huge.
London. Yeah.
Huge. Everyone was there. Who owns this place? Tamman was there, wasn't he? That was all there. Jimmy White, every fucking million. Brian Evans' dad. That was all there, mate. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So do you all stay together since Joe has passed as a group?
Well, I spent not really. I've been keeping in touch, everyone.
Yeah.
But obviously, you move on, you move away, you move about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Brendan, what are you going to ask him?
Well, listen, Ben, how are you enjoying your tea?
I fucking love them. I love them. Little by mouth. I can drink soup.
So, Brendan, who have we got here?
We've got the legend, that's Bobby Baxter.
Yes.
And the good-looking brother.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
I'm Ray.
Fantastic. So, Bobby, you've set this one up, haven't you?
I have, yeah. I helped out organising it all and booking it and stuff like that, which is very easy to do. There's no hardship at all.
Right.
all to support my mate Martin Knight from junior school, and of course Ronnie Field, who's just a lovely old man.
And Ronnie Field is the business, isn't he?
He's one of the last legends that we got. We've got to pay homage to him and enjoy him. He's a real superstar legend, you know what I mean? And he's just a good old fella for telling stories. He's a proper old school gentleman, and he's someone that you want to be around.
Absolutely. And have you met Ronnie before?
I have indeed, yeah. I just find this whole community, they're just solid people, salt of the earth.
Yes.
They came from a time back in the the 60s, 17s when maybe there were different rules around, but these are people that live life to their full, and they've got to be really held with a lot of respect.
Fantastic. So just tell us a bit about the book, Bobby, what's going on?
It's Ronnie's life.
Yeah.
Did you say about the book?
Yes.
Yeah, Ronnie's life. You've got to read it. It's unbelievable. From such a bad background, being born in a workhouse, not a pleasant childhood, ups and downs, amazing life, very interesting. First man in Belmarsh, the people he's met, that higher tier of gangsters that were very, very premier, isn't it? And it will never happen again. This is living history. It will not happen again.
No, all of them people, you won't find another group of people like the war generation, the 60s generation. It's all changed now. The way that life is lived, the generations that are coming after, I'm afraid they haven't got the minerals or the balls after them to do what any of these boys done.
Yeah, fantastic. So it's going to be a good afternoon, yeah?
Excellent, yeah.
With a few of the chaps around and all
As
that.
always.
As always, great people.